Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum,
I'm Sam.
and today we're having a look at the Woodford Reserve Rye.
Alrighty, so today we're doing the Woodford Rye. Surprisingly, we haven't tried that. We weren't really into rye
At all.
We've only recently gotten into it, but
Yeah.
so it kind of makes sense. But I'm surprised we didn't try that first before any other rye, just because we tried Woodford and the Double Oak so early on.
Yeah, and love both of them.
Yeah, and by the way, we just realized we never reviewed the original
Woodford.
Woodford Reserve Bourbon,
Yeah, I know.
so I don't know what the hell we're doing with that. We'll probably do that next, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, basically Woodford has a pretty cool history. They're situated on, now their distillery is situated on the site of the US's oldest known distillery. I think it was from 1812. But the actual the range, Woodford Reserve, didn't actually start being released until 1996.
Yeah.
That old when it comes to that. Now it's owned by Brown-Forman. They own a ton of stuff. Made in Kentucky. This one is actually a bit higher proof. Yeah, so basically the original Woodford Reserve over here in Australia is 40%.
Yeah.
The rye, however, is
45.
45.2. So 90.4 proof, which is
Pretty good, actually.
That 5% makes so much of a difference when it comes to any alcohol I've ever tried. We're talking whiskey for flavor. I'm not really comparing the tiny increases in flavor from drinking absinthe. But yeah, basically higher proof, high mash bill of rye, so obviously it needs to be minimum 51%. This one is actually 53% rye, 33% corn, 14% malted barley. So nice rye content, nice amount of corn as well, so it's not going to be it's not one of those super low corn ones like the Manhattan rye, I think, was 95% rye and no corn or something. Weird stuff like that. But yes, this should be more
Classic
along the
rye.
lines of a classic high rye bourbon or high corn rye. But yeah, we'll get into it.
It's that classic spice that you get on all rye, or the majority of ryes. not the Manhattan rye. That was a bit weird.
It's a dark sweetness, like caramel, caramelized, wood sugars.
I'm getting more spice up front, more like cardamom, star anise, cinnamon.
I'm getting toasted almonds and stuff as well, really nice kind of light nuts and stuff. Some pepper, so some
cracked pepper,
But when you bite down on a whole peppercorn, more fresh ones, that's got a bit more of that kind of green
that
note
intensity
to it.
though.
It's got apples and pears in it.
Yeah,
it's nice and herbaceous. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as star anise and clovey as some of the other ones we've had. It's much more
it's more light, but that's
it's just more it's more deep and sweet. It doesn't have as many green herbal notes to it, but it's definitely still very herbaceous, comparing it to a regular bourbon with low rye.
Yeah, exactly. Very vanilla heavy as well.
For me, it's that brown, brown sugar or caramel sweetness is ringing through. It's that with the spices. It's I don't know, someone sprinkled some cinnamon and nutmeg on the bit of the wood and then poured some brown sugar over it and then blowtorched it. You kind of get that mix of the wood bitters, the caramelized sugar, and the spices as well.
I'm almost getting a cinnamon roll.
Nice. Yeah, this is super nice.
Yeah.
No, I get what you mean.
It's sweet, cinnamony, sugary.
Even one of those cinnamon apple scrolls.
Yeah. This is very
This is a lot better
honest.
This is a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Not that I had low expectations, but just just for us at the moment, we haven't been super into rye. We've been getting a lot more into them, but normally they're the higher proof, high corn ones.
Yeah.
And this is kind of that, but you never know. Sometimes you get some weird ryes, which we've had recently. So I'm glad that this one is kind of stepping towards what we like in a rye.
Yeah. I think it's good to go back to more classic ryes as well.
Yeah,
we've had
taste.
Yeah, we had the Gospel and the Manhattan rye, which were both both a bit weird, but
That's good. The Gospel was good. The Manhattan was just bizarre. But the Gospel also wasn't regular rye.
Mm.
It wasn't like an American rye. That's nice.
Mm.
Baking spices, oak,
It's pretty short.
pepper.
A lot of the body falls out of it. There's like a little
Nice.
linger, but it's quite pleasant.
I feel like it starts thick and sweet with these kind of like more those toasted almond caramel kind of baking spices and wood notes.
Mm.
Then it kind of dips and goes to fruitiness, and then it kind of just goes dry and disappears. It's not like a long finish. Like you get the minty kind of the rye notes on the finish more. It goes dry and you get more of those herbal notes.
I'm getting more of the brown sugar and caramel on the taste. I was getting more vanilla kind of on the nose, but
yeah, it's very similar to the nose. It's just like the way it's kind of laid out in what you experience. The timings on each note is kind of different. Like the nose, it's just all at once and you can sift through it. Whereas the taste, it's like you get these notes and then these notes and then these notes and then these notes. So it's kind of, I reckon this one would do well with maybe water, but also maybe just letting it sit there for 10 or so minutes, even longer. Just kind of like sitting with it slowly.
Water might kind of kill it because it's a little bit short as it is.
But it's nice. It's kind of, it's viscous-ish. Like it's kind of oily. It doesn't taste like watery thin. It's got that kind of like thickness.
No, yeah.
It clings, but not like an insanely long finish.
Not
bad though. I don't know. It's hard.
I'm getting more like it's like a bready taste on the end, which makes me think back to like the cinnamon roll.
Yeah, those like, baking spices, the bready baking spices, I'm definitely getting. For me, the end is just like, I don't know. It just kind of gets more dry, and I get those lighter, greener herbs.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just like, and a little bit of that caramel sweetness, but it kind of does die off. It's like deep sweet fruitiness, and then dry herbs, and gone. It's not a super long finish, but it's not like too short. I like it. Yeah. I'm not getting any ethanol burn.
No, none at all. This is really good for $90 as well. Like $90 rye. Like we're
here.
Yeah, we're normally averaging like 100, around 100. To get like a decent one, you can buy some Australian and Manhattan for cheaper. Like Knob Creek rye, fantastic, but it's like 120 or something like that.
So yeah, like places like California, I'm just going to like the nearest, easily accessible American website. It's kind of hard to find them in Australia because it directs you away from places that aren't where you are, obviously. But it's looked to be about $40.
$40. So we're actually about on par with what.
So it's on par, but also California, I have heard, has had some weird pricing with whiskey before. They sometimes get more expensive stuff. Yeah. Assuming Kentucky and stuff, you guys can probably get it cheaper. Either way, it's not like obtusely priced here, which is what we care about.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, good. Hopefully next episode we'll probably do the just plain Woodford, which is good because we can actually compare it to this. Well, you can. I don't have any left of the rye. I've got it all poured in by glass, but you can at least compare it. And then I want to rebuy the Woodford, the double oaked.
Double baked, as you used to say.
Double baked, because that was damn good.
Yeah, it was nice.
But it's been a while. Like our palates will have changed, and the batch, batch to batch will have changed as well.
Yeah, if anyone cares, where
batch number,
the label batch is number 69, and the bottle number is 2,191. If anyone actually cares.
Yeah. I feel like there's only been, I think, like things like, what is it? So Stag Junior, I know definitely the Abalua, Abanard. There's been like there's different talk with those two, just from memory, that have had like a massive difference that people have cared a lot about between batch to batch, year to year. I feel like Woodford Reserve would be
they're just too
consistent.
Big.
They're too big. They're too popular. They'd be too consistent. It'd be like Johnny Walker flavor drift. It's like, surely there's not going to be any flavor drift with Johnny Walker.
Exactly.
Like you'd have to get, 20 years apart to notice any difference, most likely. Alrighty, thank you very much for watching this episode of Everything Whiskey. If you enjoyed it, leave us a like. If you want to see future episodes from us, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, see you next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.